Cosmos together again with Lee Arthur and Seamus Mallett. Cosmos coming off a very impressive win, their most impressive win of the year last Sunday, beating Tampa Bay 4-2. I know this is your first trip to Tulsa. How do you like it, Lee?
I love it here, Jim. Welcome to Tulsa, the oil capital of the world. This team is 6th in league attendance because 600,000 people here love their soccer team. And tonight's game should be just like the name, Roughnecks.
All right, well, they do love their team here. I'm not so sure the Cosmos love them. We had some very physical games against Tulsa last year, Seamus.
We sure did. We can remember these games here in Tulsa very vividly, you and I, because the first one, of course, was a sort of a last-minute escape thanks to Carbognani, a great goal, and then the playoff game was a disaster, a 3-0 loss. But there are some other great stories here tonight, too. There's the great story of the coaches. Professor Mazzei really handling the Cosmos on the road for the last time, his last league game. And what a great addition this man has been. He came with Pelé. He really has stamped his character and his ideas on the game for the Cosmos and for the fans. Now, Charlie Mitchell has come along here. He has been hired by Tulsa, having played here. He's a great player, a hard player. Tulsa plays hard. When he left Toronto last year, they retired his number 3. You don't see that very much in this league.
All right, we're going to be back from the starting lineups for this evening's game between the Roughnecks and the Cosmos after these messages. Big crowd here at Skelly Stadium tonight to watch the Cosmos and the Tulsa Roughnecks. Seamus, let's go to the starting lineups now for tonight's game.
Well, Tulsa's going to start Jean Duchateau in goal, and that's a familiar name to New York fans, and you wonder what a nice kid from Brooklyn is doing in a place like Tulsa. Well, keeping the ball out of the net is what he's doing. He's has less than a 1 goal against average this season. In fact, only 4 goals given up. And believe it or not, this guy has stopped 7 penalties in a row, going back to the preseason and the indoor. That's a heck of a record, and he's a formidable keeper indeed. For the rest of the defense is equally impressive for this fine Tulsa team. They're going to have Clive Griffiths, Kevin Egan, a familiar name, former Cosmos, Barry Wallace, a new acquisition, and this great player, Johannes Edvaldsson, is going to be the sweeper. He is the sweeper also for the national team of Iceland, and since it's about 40 degrees here, he's going to feel right at home. It is cold in Tulsa tonight, and this man is going to find himself, I think, very, very comfortable. He's an excellent player. We look forward to seeing him play. And then we have in the middle of the field some very fine midfield players, Alan Dugdale, Victor Moreland from Northern Ireland, and Billy Gazzonis, a well-known name in New York also. And up front, number 12, Kasky, number 19, Tommy Ord, and Alan Woodward, who never seems to age. A player that you don't need a number on his uniform. He stands out. He's got that wonderful silver hair, and he also is the leading scorer for the Tulsa Roughnecks this season. Now the Cosmos will start tonight, of course, as usual, Hubert Birkenmeyer in goal. The back four, familiar to us all, Eskandarian, Bruce Wilson, Jeff Durgan, and, of course, the great Carlos Alberto. Must say, Carlos Alberto has really come into his own in the last couple of games. He played a tremendous game against Tampa Bay, came up forward well, and did an excellent job sweeping when Tampa Bay looked as though they might come back into the game. In the middle of the field, we will have the familiar foursome, Franz Beckenbauer, of course, playing a little injured still, Bogey, and the great Romero, and number 17, Ricky Davis. Ricky Davis had his best game, I think, also against Tampa Bay. You saw at the top of the show that tremendous shot he fired in on Dubose, and I think he's really peaking after a little bit of a slow start this season. And up front, of course, will be the ever-present Giorgio Quinalia and number 14, Mark Liverich. Mark Liverich, you saw also with that sensational goal. Mark, despite that goal, had his best game of the year. He buzzed all over the field. He had the fans on their feet with his effort. A sensational effort. Let's see if he can do the same thing tonight. The referee there you see, Dante Maglio. He's going to have his hands full tonight. This will be a physical game, I think.
All right. Each club 3 wins and 1 loss. Cosmos on top of the National Conference East. And they're 5 points on top of the Washington Diplomats. And the game starts right off the bat as Bruce Wilson is fouled. Tulsa leads the league in fouls. It was Billy Caskey fouling of number 12. He's